So what are the things that you'd want to protect? Let's break down the basics of the key elements of a copyright, of a trademark, of a patent, and a trade secret. A copyright is most notably for a work of authorship. It's for a book. It's for a movie. It's for a written work. And just by creating the written work, you have a copyright in it. Now, sometimes you'll see people do things like they'll write a piece of work and then they'll send it to themselves in the mail, sealed, because it creates a date stamp on it. You can also do that by publishing it online these days. You can get a federal registration on a copyright. It's typically about $35 per each work. And it doesn't give you any more rights to the work that you created. But what it does do is if someone were to infringe on your copyright, you might be able to claim more damages and get more money for it. But a copyright is for a written piece of work. A trademark is for a logo, a designation, or a short phrase. And so, for example, Docstoc is a trademark. And you'll see a lot of times that people put TM next to it. That means that you're putting in your assertion that you want to have a trademark in that logo, mark, or short phrase. When you see that R with a circle, you've all seen that next to something, that means that it's a federally registered trademark. And so Coca-Cola is a trademark. So you're going to get a trademark in your name. You're going to get a trademark in your logo. You can trademark short phrases like Showtime. Showtime was trademarked. Actually, there's a basketball player now, the #1 pick that came out of the draft. He's trying to trademark his unibrow. So you trademark a logo, a mark. Then you have a patent. A patent is for an invention. And copyrights and trademarks are pretty straightforward. You can just simply do a Google search, and it'll walk you through the process of how you do it. You can also go to sites like LegalZoom, which is a partner of ours, which I'm a big fan of. Patents you will typically have to work with a business attorney on. I think sometimes entrepreneurs get too worried about getting patents. A patent's not going to make your business successful. If your business becomes wildly successful, it may give you some legal defensibility. But your first objective, unless it's something highly specialized, highly technical, very specific, if we were starting a business right now that had a completely new way to refine water, and we invented something that could take salt water and take out the salt, and then it becomes drinkable water, which I think people are working on at this very moment, yeah, let's go get that patented. That's pretty important. If we genuinely invent a process that nobody else has, we should have a patent on that, and my piece of advice would be go do that #1. If you're working on building a website, my advice is that 999 times out of 1,000, especially as first-time entrepreneurs, do not worry about getting a patent. It will likely be something that can't be patented, that if it is, isn't going to make a difference, but more importantly, shouldn't be the first focus of your business. You can work with a business attorney on it, but your goal should be on getting customers and getting going. And your first thought, especially for the vast majority of the business that we're going to create, isn't that I need to get patents on the businesses. And also, a lot of times, people overvalue what a patent will do. Someone will come into my office and they'll say, well, I've got all these patents on this business. I'd say, that's great. How many customers do you have? Well, customers, I don't have any of those, but I've got these patents. I would rather take happy, engaged customers with the product that I know that they want above patents, in my particular case. Now, again, if we created the next amazing scientific breakthrough, I'd sure want to have the patents on those, because those are going to be really important. They're going to make sure that it's valuable. But for the vast majority of situations when we're starting businesses, that shouldn't be our #1 concern. And then finally, a trade secret is something like a process that you want to keep secret. So for example, Coca-Cola has a trade secret in their formula, right? They don't want anybody finding out the formula of how they make Coca-Cola. And in a lot of the cases, trade secrets or confidential information won't be as important for us. The basics that you really want to know about is A copyright is for a written piece of work. A trademark is for a logo. A patent is for an invention or for a process. And it's a good thing to get a trademark on your logo right away. The big thing that you want to note for the trademarks is that especially when you're looking to name your business, you want to do a search to make sure you're not infringing on somebody else's trademark. And this is really important. And a very simple way to do it is there's a great site called Trademarkia, where when you come up with the name of your business, you can go there and it'll tell you what's there. But also it is worth working with a business attorney on this. Because the rule for a trademark is it sufficiently confusing mark in a similar space? So there may be, people have actually trademarked, very generic words. Square, I'm sure, has a trademark on its Square card reader, but people are using the word Square for all sorts of things. If somebody else came along and wanted to start a business that was for a credit card reader on your phone called Squared, then I'm pretty sure they'd be infringing on Square's trademark. So the rule for trademarks is a sufficiently confusing mark in a similar space. And it is important that you're going to invest a lot of time into your business name, into the collateral, into the website address, and you do want to make sure that that mark is not infringing upon somebody else's. That, to me, is one of the key most important things that you can do as far as protecting your IP right up front. Because I'll tell you the hassle of later on in the business, 6 months, a year, 2 years, having to potentially go through change your name. And that may not be the biggest deal if it's a corner store, which in that case may even suck still, or if it's a service-based business just of yourself. But if you're online and your website URL is based upon the name of your business, you're really not going to want to have to change that later on.